Dawn hopped over the fence and landed flat on her face. Her heart raced as she looked down at her palms, which were muddy and scratched up from the patches of thorny weeds in the big yard. She felt wet dirt on her right cheek and swiped the back of her hand across it, smearing even more mud across the skin. "Come on!" Georgia motioned to Dawn through her rolled-down window, revving the engine of her old, dark green Toyota Camry. Dawn tried to focus, but her head felt fuzzy, and the dewdrops sprinkled all over her skin were making her even more uncomfortable than the dirt. Dawn looked up at the window she'd crawled from, the shed just below it where she'd scraped her knee trying to land, the grass below the shed, and finally the fence separating the house from the rest of the street. She tilted her head up to the second story of the painted white house with its wooden slats and rustic cream siding, and windows so big she couldn't imagine who needed to own a view of that much of the world. Shaking out the leaves from her hair, she watched as a boy looked down out of the open window on the second floor at her splayed body, then looked quickly over his shoulder, then down at her again. Dawn raised her hand to wave goodbye, and just as it seemed the boy was going to wave back, he swung a fistful of her pink underwear out of the window, the crumpled fabric landing unceremoniously in the dirt next to her. The boy shut the window with an echoing snap that bounced off all the other big windows in the neighborhood of big houses. Dawn propped herself up on her knees and bent her elbows until she was in a crouching position. Her skirt stopped mid-thigh and did nothing to protect her lower half from the chunks of mud now coating her legs. She reached across the wet grass to grab her underwear, but after seeing the mud caking the soft pink cotton, decided to abandon them in the yard.